part. I didn't want to interrupt y'all. I didn't know like how long it takes, like for me to kick in. Yeah, this is good.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Guapo, welcoming you back to the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. With me, as always, the young gun, Bruss.
Baby Bruss, that's me. Welcome to day 2.
Sitting in the comfort of his own room, it's the man himself, Little Guapo.
Sheesh.
Hey.
What's
up, everybody?
Behind the monitors, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the guy.
The guy.
What's up, guys?
The dude.
First things first, want to take care of those who take care of us. Want to send out big thank you, big shout outs to Ross and the guys from Labor 12 for the intro music. Song's called Head Rush. The album's called Monsters. Awesome, awesome song. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, it's on all your different streaming platforms. Definitely got to hear that.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys for taking care of us.
Well, we find ourselves in a brand new week. We've had, Raw, SmackDown. We've had some AEW Dynamite going on. We'll go ahead and recap all of that right now. We'll start with the young gun himself with some Raw recap.
Baby Bruss, Monday Night Raw. That's what I grew up on. It's what I'm still looking at today. We started off Raw with Edge and Beth Phoenix giving their promos. Nice to see Edge in the ring again with his wife. It was real throwback for me, especially after just seeing a glimpse of him in the Rumble. So with all of their beef going on with Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor from last year, they had their promo and started talking to them and were like, "Hey, Beth Phoenix said we want a match with Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley at Elimination Chamber." So then
we're just gonna skip over how Damian Priest couldn't say anything at all. Dude couldn't talk to save his life.
Well, I mean, he was ready for Money in the Bank. What can I say?
Yeah, Money in the Bank. I mean, you know what it is? And then, all right, the best part of Monday night for me was Beth Phoenix glam slamming Dom and him while he's up in the air just yelling, "Mommy! Mommy!"
Yeah, and then the Street Profits came out and gave that 3-on-2 more of a fair fight, which led right into the Damian Priest match with Angelo Dawkins, who is a part of the Street Profits. He came in and got a couple shots in during that promo and ended up losing, so Damian Priest has checked in his ticket to the Chamber. Then after that was a more mid-match with Baron Corbin, who lost to Dexter Lumis. I don't know, it was a little, like I said, it was pretty mid. I mean, there was, especially after that promo, I was getting hype, especially like you said with that thing with Dom. I was dying laughing, and then that came on, and I was like, "All right, that's cool." But after that, what's up?
I think WWE. I think they kind of killed Corbin, in my opinion, with that match, and then I don't know if you'll get into it later. I think, but with the whole thing with JBL and
oh no, elaborate right now. Let's hear that.
JBL after that basically told him like, "You're ruining my name," and then dropped him as his client.
Oh yeah. Backstage, when he was like, "Let's go," he was saying, "Let's go eat," and he was like, "I'm." What did he say? Oh yeah, he looked at him and he was like, "It doesn't matter what you do, you can't polish trash," and then walked off.
He said you can't polish a turd.
Oh, a turd. Yeah, that's what it was. And he was sitting there dumbfounded. I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." But after that wild match, so yeah, I forgot about that. I was like, "Whoa, that just happened!" Right after that came in the Fatal 4-Way with the women's match with Carmella. I'm still in Super Bowl mode, I guess. Piper Niven, Liv Morgan, and Candice LeRae. It was a pretty wild match. Carmelo, yeah. it was a pretty wild match, but of course, Chamber is money, as they say. That's Carmella won out. It was pretty wild. Money in the bank. Yep. And then this was a wild one for me. Shelton Benjamin was in there with Cedric Alexander. Now that was wild to see Shelton Benjamin back in the ring.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Business.
It was crazy. And they went up against Alpha Academy with Otis. You know, my gosh. No, y'all don't understand. Otis, that's a big dude. That is a big dude. And Shelton Benjamin picked that man up over his shoulders and slammed him down. It was wild. I had never seen something so crazy. I was like, there's no way he just picked that man up. Shelton Benjamin, the GOAT right there.
Having a Hogan Andre moment.
Wow, that's a throwback right there. Andre the Giant, good Lord. Then after that, we had Chelsea Green coming back right after the Rumble. You know, been on. At the WWE, along with all its fans, were not happy with what she was doing. So she had her match with Asuka and got pretty. You know, she was going good in the beginning, but she kind of got humiliated there at the end. Yeah, you know, really, that make it. That was pretty much her. Asuka was messing her up there at the end, and all the girls from Elimination Chamber came out. They were just. The judgment on their face was crazy.
I really like where they're going with Asuka. She's got the whole Muda, spit in the face, the paint. I like where they're going with that.
Yeah, her paint is awesome.
I'm really hoping for an Asuka heel turn because I think that's going to be awesome.
And I think that's where they're going.
That'd be dope.
I hope so.
So taking a break from the women's matches for a second, we had Montez Ford beating Elias, which gave Montez Ford's ticket into Elimination Chamber as well. The two men that line it out for next week.
I would like to say that Montez Ford, like for somebody that hadn't seen him wrestle just a whole lot, that dude is a monster. Like he is all over the ring.
Exactly. That dude flies around like crazy. Like you wouldn't even understand it. Like ending that frog splash. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I hope to see them split the profits up soon and give, because Angelo Dawkins, I mean, he's not Montez Ford, but he's also very talented.
Oh, he moves good for a big man.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Ford could be a main event guy. They push him right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is especially with this week, it had them split up, and I mean, I don't think any of the fans were that upset about it. Like it looked nice, and then it ended it out with the pay-per-view for it was the match to watch was Bayley and Becky Lynch with
the cage match.
Who was it? What are they called? Damage Control? Yeah, the Damage Control in the back at the cage match. Yeah, and I mean, we all thought it was over for Becky Lynch till the one and only Lita came out. Oh my goodness, I was freaking out when I watched that. She came in, was messing with Damage Control because they kept trying to help out old Bayley, but she came in and hit the twist of fate. Oh my gosh, I was so high. I was screaming. It was so dope to see that. And then Becky Lynch won out, and what were you going to say?
I was just going to say I thought it was cool. Towards the end of the match, of course, everybody's popping because Lita's there. The music hits, Lita's music's going on, and if you look past Lita, you'll see Becky in the cage standing beside her just...
Yeah, it was so dope.
I thought that was cool. Now, one of the rumors going around, and hasn't been set in stone yet, but it's the rumor going around, is what this is setting up with Lita coming back, is a match at WrestleMania between Damage Control.
Yup, 6-woman tag match.
Lita, and Trish Stratus.
Yep.
Because Trish has already come out. I forgot about this. She came out and talked trash because Bayley was talking trash to her in Damage Control.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. And Alexa Bliss and Asuka, I think, came out. And that, I remember. Yeah, so Trish has a kind of a history with Damage Control.
She's got a place to play in there. So that'd be pretty wild. And seeing Lita return, that was a real blast from the past. Getting to see Edge take the stage again, do his own thing. Which, speaking of taking the stage, Edge just got back from his Disney Plus getting cast in the Percy Jackson series. I was like, what?
Yeah.
He got to finally do it.
Aries.
He's who I was. That's so cool. I was like, man, I was freaking out once I heard about that. I was like, that's why he's been gone. Like, that's what he's always been talking about was doing is, being on the big screen. So.
Where's my brain?
Oh man, but yeah, getting to see him on stage, getting to see Lita come back, having Matt Hardy and Jeff out at AEW has kind of been, they've both taken their step back. Jeff's kind of not really able to take his step back in. He's got some things to fix. But
just got his demons.
I actually watched part of Matt Hardy's podcast talking about Jeff, saying that he's working through stuff. He's in a better headspace. I watched that the day that I watched the Raw, where I saw Lita come out. So I was already like kind of in that mindset. I heard that music hit. I was like, "There's no way." I saw that, and like I said, I saw that twist of fate. It was over. I was like, "That was so dope." But now,
part of it was with the whole. I mean, I know it seems like random, like to somebody who doesn't watch, Lita coming out to help Bailey, but whenever the first Becky, yeah, my bad. Whenever the first Women's Rumble was, that's when Lita came back as she set up a match with Becky at whatever it was in Saudi Arabia. I think it was like Extreme. I think it was Extreme Rules.
It's either Extreme Rules or the Greatest Royal Rumble or something like that.
Yeah. Well, it was the Greatest Royal Rumbles where she came back, and then they had a singles match at the next one, right. And I think it was Extreme Rules. I don't know. It was it was a pay-per-view somewhere in Saudi Arabia, and they had a killer match, and they were like, Lita was like, if you ever need anything, I'm here. Like, call me. So, Bailey's in trouble. Lita comes out. Makes total sense. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, coming through with that in that Becky Lynch match. So, but the real all-stars of Monday's Raw were definitely the promos with. It was a heavy hitter. It was a banger coming. Oh yeah, it was a banger coming out with Edge and Beth Phoenix. But the first one that really just got me going crazy was Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley's, but specifically Brock Lesnar's. Seeing the dynamic of the Mean Machine, the Suplex City King. Beast. The Beast incarnate who didn't say any words and had Paul Heyman speaking for him, to Smiley Brock. I mean, it's such a welcome change seeing Smiley Brock give a promo. Oh man, it was so funny.
I don't think Brock has had this much fun at any point in his career.
100%. 100. Even with what happened with him and Bobby Lashley trying to be a heel, which. Well, touch on that in a second. He was still like smiling through it, like after it, like he was trying to be mean and he started smiling. Like it really looks like he's enjoying himself, and that's just, I mean, me personally, I would, and I think I'm speaking for a lot of us here, is that the fans really enjoy that. So, but
well, and in that promo, he had the fans right there in the palm of his hand.
Yeah, I know. Talking about wake up in the morning and all I could think about was Bobby Lashley. I went to go ice fishing, and all I could think about was Bobby Lashley. I went to go eat a big steak. All I could think about was Bobby Lashley. And then he hit him with I went to bed with my wife, and he just gave that pause.
15-second pause.
They're all sitting there like, oh, really now? Oh. He's like, after about 4 hours just thinking about Bobby Lashley.
Keep in mind, this man's wife is Stacy Keibler.
That's fair.
Yeah, it'd be
fair. Legs herself.
And then, Bobby Lashley came out and all in his suit and stuff. He's like, I think I'm making the questions here. I'm making the rules.
Tell this to my lawyer.
My lawyer, my agent.
Here's my problem with that. Lashley as a heel just doesn't work. He's a nice guy.
I bet it could work in some circumstance, but especially with Smiley Brock, come on, man.
I'll say, did you not pay attention to the... whenever his WWE Championship run with the Hurt Business before they all broke up? And Elimination Chamber predictions, I'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that here in a little bit.
Yeah, then the big thing for me, the biggest part of Monday Night Raw, that was just one of the craziest promos, A+, S+ promos I've ever seen in my life was Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Good Lord. The crowd manipulation, it was so beautiful. You know, seeing Cody Rhodes talk like his his kind of underdog story coming back to WWE. You know, he did, like he said, he did what his father could never do and got to have his match with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Has his match slated with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, being the main event, the headliner. You know, that was his dream. He succeeded at that. And then hearing Paul Heyman talk so, sentimentally with him about his father, you know, it was so beautiful.
The crowd was right in there, warm and fuzzies right there.
Exactly. And, you know, it was like the crowd just was dead quiet when Cody was talking. It was crazy. Like, it's something I'd never seen before. They gave him his space, let him say his piece. And it's just so beautiful, especially, you know, I really think it's a beautiful story after his injury on his pec, like, you know, him coming back for the first time in a while after that with Royal Rumble, getting to win the Royal Rumble. Everyone's like, let's go, Cody's back, this is the guy. And then his promos like this, it's like got tears in fans' eyes. And, you know, Paul Heyman, that freaking guy, I mean, he's still got it. He's still got it. That's all I could say.
You can't convince me he wasn't like legitimately crying out there.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Oh, he 100% was, and it was so beautiful because he had like the tears in his eyes, a few streaming down, and it was like he was giving just this warm hug, like metaphorically with his words, to Cody Rhodes, and then right after just stabbed him so hard in his back with that Roman Reigns line.
And watching that, all I hear is, "You killed Cody, you bastard."
So for those of y'all that don't know, Cody Rhodes, the American Dream,
American Nightmare.
There you go. What his name? Dusty Rhodes, American Dream. There we go. Sorry. And
there you go.
He died. He's Cody Rhodes' dad. So he.
It was a very heartstringy promo.
It was very just like tugging on the heartstrings. And, you know, he was telling me, he was like, you were such a great kid. Like, he loved you and you were his favorite son. And, you know, it was like the tears were rolling. Like, Cody was starting to tear up. All the fans were tearing up. And he just hits him with the Roman Reigns.
Son he always wanted.
The son he always wanted. Good Lord, man.
Just kill shot right there.
Oh, my goodness. That, and oh man, just seeing Cody's face getting right up in Paul Heyman. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. Like, it got me so excited for Elimination Chamber and
Cody ended it. Yeah, Cody ended it so strongly too. With you know, you made this Roman. I've got nothing against you. Roman made this personal. So at WrestleMania, I'm gonna take those titles. Personally.
It just resonated. You know, Paul Heyman was the one that dropped the mic, but Cody really deserved it there.
Paul Heyman may have dropped the mic, but Cody picked it back up, dropped it on Paul's head.
I know.
I said, Lady Guapo, Mama Bruss, she's right. It was a front stab. It was not a back stab.
It really was, though.
And before we get into anything else, just kind of looking at the chat, want to say what's up to Lady Guapo. Want to say what's up to Avery. She's in the chat saying what's up to Bruss.
What's up, guys?
I know our chat's a little light tonight. You know, apparently there's some kind of
Kansas
football
City Chiefs are Super Bowl champions, by the way, guys.
Really?
I was gonna say apparently there's some kind of football game going on tonight. Huh?
Thaddeus and Elise, they owe me and Malia dinner now, so get ready.
W right there.
So it sounds like it's a pretty solid
Raw. We appreciate all you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, and it was a great Raw. Like, it was, you know, I kind of took a break from wrestling for a little bit, but I started getting into it again this Thanksgiving, and you know, just seeing this build up and getting to see Monday Night Raw like this, just these promos being so meaty and meaningful, ready for the Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. Like, it's every Raw since then. It's just been getting me more and more hyped for those two events.
All right, Hunter. So matches or Bruss? Sorry, guys. Matches and promos overall. What is your give the whole Raw a grade? What's your grade on the Raw?
All right. Well, if I got to grade the promos, S+, all of them. They were spectacular promos. The matches, the Angelo Dawkins, Damian Priest, it was a good build up, and it was a 30-minute segment with the promo and the match. So being able to keep the crowd immersed in the first 30 minutes of the show, that's really important, and it was a good match with them. But the Corbin match was kind of mid. The match itself was mid. The after talking, just all the talking was really great. It really picked it up. The women did great, so I gotta give it maybe like a high B plus, maybe even A minus. Yeah, I would say A minus. I would say A minus.
I can rock with that.
No, I'm giving a solid A minus with the Lita return. The solid A minus on Monday night.
I can rock with it.
I can go with that. Yep.
So from Monday night, we transition to, is it Wednesday night?
Wednesday night. We have
Wednesday night Dynamite.
And through all the shows, Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, what we used to have Monday Nitro and Thursday Thunder. That's probably the best name out there. Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Oh,
I like it. So AEW this week on Dynamite was kind of a title-heavy show. I mean, you had the World Championship Elimination, or Eliminator is what they're calling it. And you had Konosuke Takeshita and MJF. Now, it's not hard to figure out who I'm going for in that. MJF's one of my favorite wrestlers. That kid has got a rocket strapped to his back as far as I'm concerned. So you had your back and forth match. It was, what you thought you would get out of this match. There was a lot of moving around, a lot of high flying. MJF, I really thought he was fixing to lose this one because he hurt himself. He went for a knee drop, missed it, rolling around on the mat, grabbing his leg. But he went through it, ended up tapping Takeshita with an arm bar on an already injured arm to get the win. So he retains his title.
It's a good deal.
We moved from that into the women's eliminator. You had your champion, Jamie Hayter, against the Bunny. That's right. Her name is the Bunny. Man, it was a short match. I don't want to use the word filler match, but most of this match took place during the commercials. I hate to put it that way, but that's the way it was. I mean, there were a few good spots in it. Jamie got the ripcord lariat and won the match.
I was like, I hate it too because Jamie Hayter she's legit. I mean, she could be the Charlotte Flair of AEW, to compare if they wanted to do that.
Well, she of course kept her title. Next up, you had the Garcia Guevara Gauntlet. So this is what's going on. Ricky Stark, he wants his shot at Jericho, and in order to do that, he's got to win this gauntlet match. So we start out. We've got Ricky Starks in with Angelo Parker. It was a quick get through it. 1, 2, 3. Ricky Starks takes him out. No problem. It's a little bit better between him and Daniel Garcia. They're going back and forth quite a bit. And then this masked assailant jumps into the ring, catches Ricky Starks with an elbow to the back of the head. Daniel Garcia rolls him up. It's over. And so they take they get in the ring when the match is over. The mask comes off. Imagine that. Chris Jericho was the masked assailant.
Jericho.
It was a good match.
I mean, could you expect anything else?
I mean, seriously. It was a good match, and there was a lot of push to, it gives push to the storyline. I really see Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho turning into a really huge match. Speaking of huge matches, probably one of the best matches of the night was the one after that. It was Bryan Danielson and Rush. So this match had a little bit of everything. It was all over the place. You had Bryan you had Bryan Danielson going all over the place like Bryan Danielson does. I mean, he's a high flyer. These are the things that he does. And Rush matched him step for step. So, in my opinion, best match of the night. We had a couple others after that, but this one by far, in my opinion, was the best match of the night. Bryan Danielson gets the win over Rush, but just barely.
Oh yeah, I saw I watched the highlights for that match, and the ending there, oh yeah, you said it right. It was so I mean, really, like this Super Bowl kind of encompasses it well. It was both sides had like power, and like you really thought they could both take it. And seeing that, seeing Damienson win, that was, oh my goodness. I mean, I thought Rush was going to kick out again. I was like, this is, I mean, this could go on forever.
It was exactly
me-
the match you would expect from Rush and Bryan Danielson. What were you going to say?
To me, I thought it was crazy that you have a guy like Bryan Danielson that had to retire because of
Broken neck.
concussion issues. Well, and his head. He's
Yeah.
had so many head injuries. And I mean, that was such a violent match. I mean, you have him taking the head bumps he did. I mean, he was bleeding in the first 5 minutes of
Yeah.
the match.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was. I mean, for a non-title match, I think they're pushing Danielson a little too much on that, in my opinion. Like you're really. I think this MJF Danielson feud is too high profile to risk an injury like that on. Danielson.
That is
Just
a great
with his
point.
history.
Yeah.
With his history.
Yeah, I agree. There was a few too many, but it is also AEW. I mean, when I think AEW, I think how did Vincent McMahon put it? Ruthless aggression. That's what I think of. It's just I feel like it's a more physical wrestling.
It's trying to like kind of revive the Attitude Era a little bit.
But Ed, I do agree that he did not need to be the catalyst in that match.
All right, so again, there are a lot of title matches that took place tonight. I still feel like the Bryan Danielson versus Russ stole the show. But after that, we went into the Trios Championship. You had the Elite against AR Fox and Top Flight. AR Fox, I don't know why he hasn't been showcased a little more than he was. He absolutely carried their team. I mean, don't get me wrong. You've got the Elite. You've got your Kenny Omega. I mean, they're a good team, but just watching AR Fox through this, Top Flight did a couple of things, but AR Fox carried this team. No question about it. It was a real back and forth match. And in the end, Kenny Omega got the win, which was good. Don't get me wrong. I like to see Kenny Omega, but I definitely want to see more of AR Fox. They need to do a lot more with him.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And then we ended the night with the tag team title match. You had the Acclaimed versus the Guns.
Yep.
Now,
this
one's you already know. This one's been going on for a minute. The Acclaimed have carried the titles for quite a while, and this match had everything you would expect it to have. You had the referee bumps. You had a minute there when I actually thought Billy Gunn was fixing to turn, and I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? But in the end of it, you get the Guns taking the gold away from the Acclaimed, which seems a little out of place at this particular moment in time. I'm not sure what they're setting up with that. Don't get me wrong, I like to see the Guns doing their thing, but I'm not really sure where they're going with that.
I really am curious to see what they do with that, because they've been. I agree. It feels just starkly out of place at this time. To take
out
it
of all
away.
the tag teams that they have, and the Acclaimed being the hottest of all of their tag teams.
Yes.
You take the belts off of them and put it on the Guns, who have been consistently mid-card their entire AEW run, and it didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense.
I could see that they're just trying to change it up a little bit, but I feel like that's a gradual thing. You can't just just be like, rip the titles off, give it to them. They're the big guys now. Like, it's really, that's what it felt like, and I don't know. I just don't agree with that.
It makes you wonder: are they fixing to go somewhere else with the Acclaimed, or are they trying to bring the Guns out of that mid-card range so the Acclaimed can, that makes more sense for the Acclaimed to have a feud with them?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where that's going. The highlight of the night, aside from the Daniel Bryan Rush match, Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
MJF cuts this promo. So, people are calling him scumbag. He says, let me tell you a little bit about why I'm a scumbag. And he talks about his junior prom. He goes to his junior prom.
Oh, my gosh.
And, once the junior prom's over, he goes joyriding with his girlfriend. He's got the hot girlfriend, and they're going to partake in some illicit actions. And he hits pedal to the metal and goes to, he runs into a telephone pole because, they were doing the things and things happen. Well, he looks over, sees that, I believe the way he put it was, for legal reasons, we're going to call her Liv. Liv was still breathing, but unconscious. So he moved her over into the driver's seat to make it look like she was the one driving so that he wouldn't get in trouble. To talk about the power of a promo, you were talking about the Cody Rhodes, Paul Heyman thing and the power it had over the crowd emotionally.
Yeah.
300 people called the Nassau County Police Department to report this crime that took place several years back because they thought it was real. So you've got the police department explaining to people what a storyline is, and that is amazing.
It was so meta, especially with what happened on Monday, like you said, just the power within the ring with Cody and Paul Heyman, and then the immediate turn to the power outside of the ring with MJF. It's wild. It was just it was a great week of promos.
It really was. It was good promos, and that one in particular, just the fact that the police department got 300 calls about something that he was, just throwing out there.
Yeah, that was whack.
But it made for a good Wednesday night.
Similar to a question for Bruss, overall grade for the entire show. What is it?
Looking at the matches and the things that would happen, some of it was predictable. The whole unmasking Jericho thing. You could see that.
That's like the third time he's done it. I'm sure throughout his career, that's like the third time he's done something like that.
The MJF promo, the Bryan Danielson and Rush match, those are the things that kind of elevated it. I'm going to give it a strong B, just a B. I'm not even going to go B+. I'm going to go strong B, just because I don't understand the tag team, the Acclaimed and the Guns. I don't know where they're going with that.
That really drew it back.
And the trios match, it was good, but it seemed awkward. Like, to me, the Elite are getting stale. And I hate to say that, and I'm probably going to catch some hell because I did.
Yeah.
But the Elite's starting to feel kind of stale.
He ain't never lied.
So, all in all, I give it a B.
Yeah, that's respectable.
I can jive with that one.
And do you have, like I said, with the, do you have anything to say about the specifically the promos?
Oh, the promos were strong. You get, of course, anytime Jericho talks, it's...
Of course.
At this particular point in life, I'm going to say his promos are better than his in-ring work, but that's just me.
All right.
But there's a reason I have him at number 4 on my all top 5 wrestlers.
The MJF promo, always gold. Anytime that man opens
true.
his mouth on a microphone, it's absolute gold.
What a great,
So the promo work was good.
That dude's going to be awesome for a lot of his career because he is a true heel. Like, he is true to his character.
Absolutely.
You catch MJF outside, he's going to call you stupid. He's going to call you all kinds of names. I saw a video of some people at the hotel trying to get in the elevator with him, and he pushed somebody out of the elevator and was like, no, and went up by himself. They were just like, well, it shows how much he cares about his fans. And I was like, well, somebody obviously does not pay attention to who MJF is because he doesn't care.
I'm not going to go
They are just your average mark.
I am not going to go into it because there's so many of them. But if you get the opportunity, just go to YouTube and look up MJF being savage. He talks trash to 10-year-old kids that are trying to come up for an autograph. He is MJF at all times.
Hey, while you're at that YouTube, give us a big subscribe on our last video from last week. Subscribe, throw some comments in there, share it with your friends, and then go look at that MJF video and be like, man, they're right.
Absolutely. Check out all this. We're on all your socials. You'll also be able to find our podcasts on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
Anywhere you get your podcast.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, just cruising on the road. Want to hear about what happened this week with wrestling, especially with how how hot it's getting with everything, which we're fixing to hear about in terms of storyline with Buddy. The it's a great thing to just kick back and listen to on a road trip or something. Also, don't forget, we got a TikTok, so your favorite clips and the guys' favorite clips, they'll be on there.
And we also got some B-list content. We never know when he's recording, so
yeah, he records.
We may catch some funny stuff.
So that takes us out of Wednesday night and drops us into Friday night for SmackDown, and we're going to turn that over to Buddy.
All right, so similar to Monday night, starts out Paul Heyman. He's got both the titles on. Somebody who had never watched WWE turns on SmackDown and sees this Oompa Loompa balding Oompa Loompa with both titles around his shoulder in the ring. They're gonna think like, all right, what's going on here? Why is, Penguin the champion?
Mr. Penguin.
Walrus.
But
yeah, Walrus. I heard that in a minute. That's funny.
But he starts talking about how Roman Reigns is the WWE Championship, the WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion. That is, Roman Reigns is that title. Without Roman Reigns, these titles mean nothing. Blah blah blah. One of these days, Roman's gonna lose these, and I'll start chanting, "Sammy, Sammy," and Paul, no, Sammy's not here, and it keeps going. Then a huge pop. Hooded Sami Zayn takes his hood off, standing behind Paul Heyman, walks around him and just holds his hand out. Paul puts the mic in his hand. He starts talking about how that he's talking already, about Roman losing the titles. The bloodline is falling apart around them, and that is what is going on right now. They can't even grasp that things are just falling apart. The Solo started to get close to Sami, and Roman noticed it, so he pulled him in closer. And does he think that Jimmy is going to follow, his abusive cousin, or is he going to go with his brother, who he shared the womb with? Where does he think that's going to play out? And then Sami just talks about how he'll tell him how much longer Roman has left. He has 8 days. 8 days. He's taking those titles off of him. Promo ends. He also said that if this were a month ago, if I were in this ring with you, you would have already had Solo, Jimmy. I'd already be super kick, Samoan Spike. I'd be out of here. But no one's here because the bloodline's falling apart.
Jeez.
That rattled Paul a little bit. So started SmackDown off with another fantastic promo segment from Paul Heyman. And he, it also, it tied into Cody a little bit too. Sami was like, Roman doesn't need to worry about Cody because I'm going to be the one at WrestleMania fighting Cody with these championships. All that, really, really building that, trying to make people think he's going to win. We all know he's probably not going to win. And you never know.
Especially, it's cool to see him actually trying to get some pep behind his step because, the last time I saw him really be intentional about what he was doing was when he was trying to join the bloodline. I feel like that was the last time he had some real intention behind what he was doing. There's this little limbo he's been in. I'm like, man, this guy he's scared, So
Sami is so over right now, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have something to ask you about that
it.
when we get to the Elimination Chamber.
Okay. So then it goes into Jimmy backstage. Jay's gone. No one's seen Jay since Royal Rumble. Jimmy's trying to get a hold of Jay. Can't get a hold of him.
Who's don't answer the
phone?
phone?
Like I said, that. Yeah. So that promo rattled Paul a little bit. Paul's like, I was out there with a Canadian maniac, and you didn't come help. Like he could have hurt me, and you never came. And he was like, well, Roman's not here, Solo's not here. I'm trying to find Jay. We have a tag team title match tonight. And he said that he's like, oh, you know what? You're here. You could be my tag team partner. Paul Heyman was like, nah, bro, that ain't the move. He said you don't have to do it yourself. He's like, Jimmy said, I know Jay's gonna show up. So then it cuts to, it was a lot of backstage segments this time. It cut to Chelsea Green, Sonya Deville. So Chelsea Green on Monday was bothering Adam Pearce because he's the Raw general manager. So she hits Adam Pearce. She's like, well, since you were being rude, I want to talk to the SmackDown general manager. He's like, haha, funny, I'm both. And he's like, you know what? You're annoying me. You and Sonya Deville are in a tag team match against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Uh, Tag team match happens. Raquel Rodriguez and Liv absolutely smash Green and Sonya Deville, which is good. I Sonya Deville went from challenging Charlotte Flair the week before for the title, and the next week she's back to being developmental talent, which I believe is where she belongs. But uh, then the tag team title match, Ricochet and Braun Strowman. They come out, they do their thing. Uh, Jimmy comes out by himself. He's in the ring. They're about to announce like defending the title by himself, Jimmy, and then Jimmy stops him and is like, no, no, no. And Jay's in the top of the, in the crowd, coming out of the crowd.
Oh, that was so sick. That was so sick.
It's so awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Oh man, those were one of my favorite moments back when Attitude Era. Those were some heavy hitting moments when they would just come down all the way from the top. Oh, it was so cool to see that happen again.
I remember watching it. I was just like, man, there's no way he's actually gonna have to. Something's gonna happen, right? Somebody's gonna step in. Solo's gonna show up. If something.
Same, yeah. I thought somebody else was gonna fill in.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jay comes in there. They have the title match. It was actually a pretty good match. The only thing is it's pretty predictable. You know the Usos aren't gonna lose right now. Like you knew they weren't gonna lose it. So it's just like
there was a moment there.
How are they gonna? Yeah. Yes. I mean, and they're really good about that.
Yeah.
They're really good about making those moments, but
they did them justice.
They always find a way to pull it out.
Yeah, they did them justice with the build up. It kind of put through some people on their toes that didn't think they would be with the build up with the bloodlines breaking and Jay's not showing up. Like that made a few people think, wait, is this actually gonna happen?
And all right, so transition to Hit Row versus I don't know what they're called anymore. Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. I think they're just the Bangers now. They're just the Brawling Brutes
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavy doing that.
But it was just like a complete squash match. I mean, they destroyed Hit Row. And then a promo came on of the Viking Raiders basically saying like, next week you're ours. And it was really hard for Sheamus and Drew to like keep a straight face. It was a really weird promo, a really weird vignette, really weird. But it was hard for them to keep a straight face. But that's a match to look forward to next Friday: Viking Raiders versus Drew and Sheamus. And then there was a four-way, fatal four-way match. That's what I'm looking for. It was Karrion Kross, Rey Mysterio, Madcap Moss, and
I forgot about that.
Santos Escobar for number one contender for Gunther's Intercontinental Championship. So again, kind of predictable. Santos Escobar, he's going to be a star. Like he's going to be really good. He's young, just got called up, but man, he's going to be really good. You're trying to build him up. And you can't have him jobbing to Gunther because obviously there's no plans for Gunther to lose the championship.
Oh yeah, that's not. Yeah, I think Roman.
So you can't have.
100%.
Yeah, you can't have Santos job to him. You've already had Ray job to him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're ready. They're still trying to keep Karrion Kross as well, like kind of safe for something. I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing with Karrion Kross. Sense to me, but so it really only made sense for Madcap Moss to win that one. But that dude is also very exciting to watch.
Yes,
lots of young talent in the WWE right now that is just super exciting.
You have a good point that it was pretty like if you just thought about it, you would know that he would win, but it was still a really good match to watch. It was just great entertainment all around with that match.
Absolutely.
Well, in the middle of all this, Jay is outside in between some trailers, and Roman and Solo aren't there. Well, Sammy comes out and talks to Jay, telling him, hey, I appreciate what you did at the Royal Rumble, and you don't have to sink with the ship. I acknowledge you. And he goes for a fist bump, and Jay said, man, get out of here with that, and like looks around and then fist bumps him, walks off. Well, after that fatal four way, it
Oof.
goes to Jimmy. Jimmy's in there with his titles, and Paul Heyman comes up to him and is like, "Hey, Roman doesn't want y'all at Elimination Chamber. He wants y'all to stay home. It's crazy. It's good what you can see when you're at home watching as opposed to being at the show," alluding to Roman saw what went down with Jay and
Yes.
Sammy.
Yes.
So you get to see where that goes. And actually, after this wasn't shown, they had Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio had a nice little moment where they exchanged masks.
That's
It was
cool.
it was one of the yeah, it was one of the exclusive deals that they do.
Oh,
And
that's
then
sick.
Bray Wyatt and LA Knight
Ooh.
had a match. It was a dark match, not like a lights out match, but dark match after, not on
No
TV.
Mountain Dew in this one then.
No, no Mountain
Oh,
Dew in this
please
one.
no. That
And
that thing that was scary. I'll tell you what. Oh my goodness. I was not having that.
but it was a no disqualification match, and I heard that it was 10 times better than the lights out match. I heard it was really good. And I forgot to say, LA Knight also had a little promo in there where he was like, we're past that, we're not going to worry about Bray Wyatt. LA Knight's on to bigger and better things. So I really hope they do something good with him because I like him. He's very charismatic, and
Oh yeah.
his promo work's really good. I like his promo work.
So I'm guessing his promo went something along the lines of, "I'm LA Knight. Yeah. Let me talk to
Yeah.
Y'all. Let me
Yeah. All in all, it was a good SmackDown.
you." So
I'm gonna
same
just
same thing you asked both of us. I'm gonna ask you now. If you had to give it an overall grade, matches, promos, the whole nine, what grade does SmackDown get?
All right, so SmackDown is really good at storytelling. Storytelling, I mean, it's an A plus.
Oh yeah.
I love what they did throughout. With the whole. I hate that it's kind of the Bloodline show, but also love the Bloodline story. So it's great. But just the overall match quality was decent. The tag team match was good. The Fatal Four Way match was good. The other two tag team matches were pretty mid, and uh, I'm gonna have to give it like a B minus, almost a C plus, just from overall predictability. And uh, there was only two really like good matches. So,
I can go with that.
So yeah, this week
yeah,
was definitely more promos slash storyline based week. But I mean, seeing with SmackDown, it's the Sami Zayn wasn't wrong. The fall of the Bloodlines feels like it's starting to come. This Bloodline era is starting to come to a close, and it's making me think about the fall of Roman Reigns, how they're going to take that, what they're going to do to move forward. The speculation is it's a fun game to have, but the question becomes now is what's going to happen in the pay-per-views moving forward. We have the Sami Zayn story that happened with SmackDown. That like it could be encapsulated perfectly with the promo he had with Paul Heyman, but we also have the Cody Rhodes story, also with his promo with Paul Heyman, both gunning after Roman Reigns. So, where are we taking that? Where are we taking, Sami Zayn is being lifted up over here on SmackDown. Cody Rhodes is being lifted up over here on Raw. They're going to come to both of their stories are like they're coming up to where they're supposed to be, Elimination Chamber. That's what's coming up next. What do you think's going to happen with Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns?
I don't think that. Well, I guess. Well, since what you said, we can kind of transition to Elimination Chamber predictions because this kind
Yes.
of
Yeah.
ties in with
Yes.
with what I want to go with the Elimination Chamber predictions. So I'm going to go through the full. I don't think they'll add another match, but as of right now, I'm going to go through the match card,
Yeah.
and then we can kind of give our predictions, and then and that's when I'll touch on what I think is going to happen with Sammy and Roman. So, starting off, you have the United States Elimination Chamber.
Oof.
It's got Theory, Rollins, Gargano, Bronson Reed, I don't even know who that is. Where has he been?
I couldn't tell you.
Damian Priest and Montez Ford.
Yeah, honestly, same with I haven't seen Austin Theory in a minute. Like, I mean, he hasn't really
I
been
haven't seen
making
him
waves that
wrestle in a
much.
minute. I've seen him cut promos.
Yeah.
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
oh yeah.
He was on Raw.
Yeah.
But I
I
just
was like, he
mean,
got stomped.
I just mean like in the ring doing his magic. Like I said, when I started really getting back into like dedicated watching wrestling and Thanksgiving, and I was when Theory was doing his big thing when he got the title, you know. So it was, I mean, seeing all of him there, and then he just kind of poof from the ring for a little bit. I'm excited to see him again.
So
Well,
with that match, where are you at on that?
so I can't really give you like a finish or anything like that, but I see Theory pulling it out.
Okay.
I see Theory
Okay.
keeping the strap.
So you got Theory keeping the strap. How about you? Where do you see this going?
I also got Theory keeping the strap, but I'm very excited to see Seth freaking Rollins in there with Theory. You know, it's gonna be nice. And I really like the structure of Elimination Chamber matches. Like they do a really good job building it up, and it always delivers on the entertainment standpoint. So with that match not being very story heavy at all, it's gonna be nice to sit and watch how it unfolds.
Yeah,
I can go with that.
it's an exciting match type.
So I too am of the mindset that Austin Theory is going to keep the belt. However, I think this is going to be more about pushing Gargano, pushing Montez Ford, getting them a little more spotlight with some bigger name individuals so that we can take this U.S. title feud that's going on and throw more people into it and maybe graduate some of the ones that are big in it now up to another belt.
And it was like you were saying, buddy. This is a great opportunity for Montez Ford to show his stuff. You know, after you said that, I mean, things are starting to kind of click about that. Like maybe that's what their goal is to split them up. So they're just trying to see how the crowd feels about them. You know, being in a more big time match like this by himself. You know, and I mean, I feel like he's going to give a great performance. Like if this Raw is to foreshadow anything, like I think it's going to be a good performance for him. So, you know, your prediction about the Street Profits splitting up might very well happen. Along with, you know, we got Lady Guapo in the chat talking about the twins are the future, not Roman Reigns. You know, I agree.
Main event Jey Uso.
The Usos are
Main event.
they're big.
Main event Uso.
And you know, so oh man, so we were talking a little bit about the Usos and stuff before the podcast started. You know, I kind of want to hear you elaborate more on how you feel like that's kind of gonna or no finish giving the card and we'll get to that match. We'll get to that match.
We'll go through that.
I'm sorry. I'm excited to talk about the Bloodline stuff, man. It's going crazy.
Patience, young gun.
So
Patience.
Dad, who you got? Who you got?
Who I got on the
men's.
The men's? Like I said, I think Theory's going to keep the strap.
Theory. Okay. I didn't hear you say that. My bad. All right. So overall consensus, Theory is going to win the men's elimination chamber. He's probably going to pull something slimy off and retain.
As per usual. As per usual.
All right. So now we're going to start with you, Sir Father.
Okay.
Women's elimination chamber: Raquel Rodriguez, Nikki Cross, Liv Morgan, Asuka, Natalya, and Carmella. This one's kind of hard.
This one is kind of hard. I mean, we all know Mella's money, but I honestly, I gotta go with my girl Liv on this one. I think Liv's gonna take it.
Really?
I think Liv Morgan takes this belt.
That's a legitimate possibility.
Her performance at the Rumble. I mean, you can't. She had a great performance at the Rumble.
Yeah.
Only thing is her last most. You know, she just had a recent championship run that kind of fell flat on its face. So
that's true.
All
that's
the
a good
reason
point.
to put the belt back on her to let her fix that.
Which these names, you know, they're. I keep going back to this Thanksgiving thing, but it's like that. It reminds me of that Money in the Bank match, you know, that had a couple of these names in it. So it's
and Liv's the one that won the Money in the
exactly. So and having Asuka there, and Carmella, I mean, I don't know. That was a great match in itself, and I just seeing each one of these women have put on great shows in their own respective times with each other. You know, it looks like it's gonna be a great match as well.
All right, so you got Liv, Hunter, Bruce. Who do you got?
Maybe Bruce. Who do I got? Oh man. Well, you know, I agree with Dad what he said earlier about Asuka getting built up. I think it's starting to be her time to shine, but I don't think it's going to culminate right now. So I think she's going to be a big role in the match, but I don't think she's going to take it. I also don't think Liv's going to take it. I can understand where that's coming from, but like Buddy said, you know, Liv's had hers rather recently, so
yeah, say it's so fresh on the
exactly.
mind.
So
That's a big thing.
but it is due time for her to start becoming a lot more relevant, start really building something, but not just right out the gate. Maybe a feud might start here with Elimination Chamber, but I think personally, Mella's money all the way. I think she's got it in the bag here. I really do.
Okay, then.
I mean, I really do.
That's an interesting face we got going
Yeah,
there.
so you don't agree with me, I see. Kind of a little hot take, but that's where I'm at with it. Like I was really debating between Asuka and Mella, but I think Carmella has got it. You know, Raquel she's just, you know, back muscles. She's the tower of a woman. Like she's a big, strong woman, but I feel like that is what's gonna lead to her downfall in that match. I don't know. It's
just not her time.
I feel like it's
I agree.
the Carmella comeback here. Like she's be back on top, you know.
The Staten Island Princess is who you got.
And this Staten Island Princess thing, they're like she's filling that out very well.
Oh yeah.
I also want to just throw it out there. It seems that the stream or the chat has a little bit of problems with both of y'all's answers so far, so I want to get the chat's answers. I'm going to go through mine, and I want to get some of the chat's answers. So go ahead and throw out there who y'all think is going to win.
Yes, let's hear it.
So I'm going to give mine. All right. So I think it's down to two. There's two possibilities.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be Natalya because she's about to be in a feud. I think she's going to be in a tag team feud with Baszler and Rousey. I don't think it's going to be Carmella because I don't think Carmella's it. I don't think it's going to be Liv because Liv, her title reign was so recent for what we already discussed. I don't think it's going to be Nikki Cross because what has Nikki Cross done since Survivor Series?
Exactly.
Nothing. Okay.
Completely agree.
And that leaves Asuka and Raquel Rodriguez. And while I do think Raquel Rodriguez is a strong candidate, I agree with you, and I don't think she's ready.
She is strong.
But I think this is the perfect time for the Asuka heel turn, and Asuka is going to pull it off.
I can really respect that that thought process. Like I said, that's what I was really fighting was Asuka being the one to make it, but I feel like they're still cooking something up with her a little bit to give her
This
shot.
is going to be it. So if she wins this, she has between now and whoever wins this is facing Bianca Belair at WrestleMania.
Right.
So she's got between now and WrestleMania to really flip that switch and become that heel. I think it's the perfect.
That's a good point.
Looking at the chat, Lady Guapo agrees with you. Says it's got to be Asuka.
Thank you. At least someone is here. Is logical.
I don't know. That is a
Carmella.
That is a good. Why not though?
Have you not watched her?
All I'm going to say is if Mella pulls this off, I'm going to authorize every bit of trash talk.
Like the run back is it just feels right.
What run back? What run did she have in the first place?
She had her match with what was her name? The girl in WrestleMania.
Bianca Belair.
Yes.
That she got absolutely smacked.
Exactly,
and now she's
like a toy. I know. So she's had her build up with the Staten Island princess, and like people are still like, oh, we love her. Like it's the same with Asuka, and Asuka, like I feel like her losing this with this match is just gonna give her chance to skyrocket while Carmella's going out. Gets to have her shot at her.
The only reason that match between Belair and Carmella, the only reason that match happened was because it was supposed to be Rhea Ripley and Belair, but Rhea Ripley got a head injury and couldn't go.
Yeah.
So Carmella filled in for her. So I don't think Carmella is like the Raw version of Sonya Deville on SmackDown to me, personally. That's what I think.
So we've got our predictions in for those two. What do we got next?
All right, so next we got the mixed tag match: Beth Phoenix and Edge versus Rhea Ripley and Finn.
All right,
I feel like
we're going to stop right there because it hasn't been officially put out yet. I don't believe, but the rumor mill is churning, saying that this was supposed to happen at Royal Rumble. Of course, they had to work around Edge's filming schedule for the Percy Jackson thing on Disney Plus. So it's happening at Elimination Chamber, and the rumor has it that this is going to be a Hell in a Cell match.
We're not talking the old cage match like happened with Becky Lynch this week. We're talking Hell in a Cell, got rooftop, locked doors, like the real deal.
That's the rumor.
All right, so I'm going to tell you right now. Hell in a Cell, steel cage, pillow fight, don't matter. Edge and Beth Phoenix are taking.
Without a doubt.
I think we're all agreed on that.
About that. Like, I don't know anybody that like wants much less actually thinks it's gonna happen, but wants Finn Balor to win. Like,
don't get me wrong, Finn is a great wrestler.
I love the way I thought they were gonna bury the Judgment Day after the whole Edge thing.
Oh yeah.
And they really built them back up. And I love that. But this is this doesn't really hurt the Judgment Day, and it concludes the Edge and the Judgment Day storyline. I think.
Yes, it lets them move forward with Edge and Beth. But it's like you said, specifically Edge, he gets to really get back into it.
Is it bad that in a way I kind of want to see Beth Phoenix get Dom in a Hell in a Cell?
That'd just be a funny match, like we saw, Buddy said, the hit in the.
Okay. So, I do think with Dom not being in a match, Dom is going to come out and pull some shiesty stuff. That's going to lead to Ray coming out.
Ooh.
And this is where you start to build. You start to build the Ray and.
I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it.
I'm going to go a little deeper into that. Edge said in his promo, "I can't wait till the day Ray snaps and 619's your teeth down your stupid throat" to Dom. What better place to have that happen, to have Ray actually snap, than right there? Right there at Elimination Chamber in the match.
Oh, man, I'm getting so excited. Elimination Chamber is going to be great, dude. Oh, my God. It's so much entertainment, baby.
So, there's no question. We're all in agreement on what's going to happen in that
Without
match.
a doubt.
So, what else we got?
Okay. All right, so I guess technically it's not confirmed yet, but Brock and Lashley.
Oh, yeah.
It's not technically confirmed yet, but it's going to happen.
We have to wait for Bobby's lawyers.
And agent.
Yeah.
And his agent, yes.
This one, we're going to start with you, Hunter. Let's hear it.
What you got?
All right, so like we've talked about with Bobby Lashley trying to be a heel, it doesn't work very well. I see what they're going for, but it's just, I don't think it's sticking with near anybody. And we all love seeing Smiley Brock on the ring, just on the stage, getting a talk.
Or lifting it with a...
Getting a fight. So
Bingo.
So, I feel like it's able to go both ways with how they're trying to build Bobby Lashley, that giving him the win here makes a lot of sense. And, it's been Brock Lesnar for a very long time. Brock Lesnar's been the guy for a long time. You're just like, oh, that's Brock Lesnar. That's the dude, But, so, I'm really torn between that match. If I had to give it to one, Lady Guapo's got Bobby Lashley winning it. I personally got Smiley Brock with it. And they're I think they're gonna try and reset the heel turn they're trying to make him get, because I feel like they notice that it's not really sticking too well. But I will not be very surprised if he does win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's gonna get the win. I think Smiley Brock's gonna get the win, and they're gonna try and refresh it. But like I said, it's very possible that Bobby Lashley takes it.
Okay.
Either way, those are two very big, very strong, very, very big men.
He's a big,
So
big,
big
man.
Big man.
So it's gonna be good.
you over that rope, Paul Hammond.
Talk about the walrus.
So, I think Bobby Lashley is going to win due to interference from the Hurt Business. They're gonna come
Really
out.
now?
I
Okay.
can see that.
I mess with
I,
that. I mess with that.
I think this is where the reformation of the Hurt Business starts, and it allows the Brock and Bobby story to kind of develop a little.
That's a good point.
Go a little further because it's like, well, yeah, you beat me, Bobby, but it wasn't straight up.
Yeah,
So-
that's a good point. That's kind of where I'm at with thinking that Brock's gonna win. Is I don't know where they would take it afterwards. So like that does give it a good segue to keep going.
I'm kind of with you
So
on it.
that's my pick.
I'm kind of with you. I think that Lashley's going to win it, but I feel like it is going to be a tainted victory. I think particularly MVP is going to have something to do with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
Yeah, well,
I
he's the ringleader for sure.
I don't know if Shelton Benjamin and them are going to come out, but I feel like
It's gonna have
MVP
something to
is
do
going
with
to
it,
have
almost.
something to do with it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I okay.
Just want to take a quick break here before we get into the big guns. Want to say how the Gambit is falling. It's
What's up, man?
nice to see you, first time chatter. Getting into it. Big fan of Edge, so that's hey down. That's a good thing to hear, man. To see that you're interested in it. I appreciate y'all. Everybody else watching, get engaged with the chat. We'll add you into our discussion.
We appreciate everybody coming in after the Super Bowl and everything.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right. So this one is rumored. It's similar to what you said. I just read it, but it's heavily rumored that Monday we're gonna figure it out. But it's Becky, Lita, and To Be Determined versus Bailey and Damage Control. Can't really do that one yet because we don't know who To Be Determined is or whether it's even going to be on this card.
Well, I can tell you now
But
that To Be Determined is spelled TRISH. That's what that's going to be. What that's going to be.
I really hope what you're saying
think-
works out. Oh man, they're really building something cool here.
Well, so we just won't do that one.
We'll
Yeah,
hold
we
back
won't.
on that
And
one.
that's awesome. All right, so lastly, Roman and Sammy.
Here it is.
So
big
obviously,
match.
I feel like Roman's going to win this match, but I feel like there's so much more that's going to come from this match in Raw and SmackDown and all the things that are going into that. This is to build storyline. That's what this match is going to be. It's going to be a great match because Sami Zayn doesn't know how to not put on a great match, and Roman.
Never Roman. I mean,
It's not possible for him to put on.
It's going to be a great match, but this is more to build stories than it is to take a title off her.
So with that, I mean, saying that the after effects of this match is a little more important than just the match itself. What do you see happening after?
Well, hold on. We got to get
I
your
wanna
pick,
hear
and
what-
we got to get his pick.
my pick's Roman. We already know that, and I want to hear because you already kind of know what me and Dad. I want to hear what you think's gonna happen
Okay.
before me and Dad go.
Okay. Well, what I think is going to happen is, of course, Roman Reigns is going to win it. I really think Roman Reigns has it. I don't see him losing his title very soon, but it's definitely coming. I mean, the fall of Roman is on the way. I mean, it's fast approaching. So but I don't think he loses it to Sami Zayn. I don't think Sami Zayn is big guns enough right now for it. Like, he's getting hyped up, but he's just not he's not the Brock Lesnar to Roman's Undertaker. Like, it's just not the same in that aspect. So I can't say that Sami's going to win there. But what I see happening is Sami Zayn gets taken out, and then Roman Reigns is moving on. He's like, I'm not dealing with this trash. Get up out of my squad. This is our family, like he did with that thing with Kevin Owens. You're like, get out of here, dude. You're not a part of this bloodline, and we're keeping it with us. And I'm gonna show that it's still the bloodline show, that none of this falling apart nonsense is happening at WrestleMania. I think he's gonna hit one of those, really hype up the Cody situation. But what happens with Sami after that? I don't know, man. What I want to see is a Sami and Jay. Do I think it's gonna happen? No, I do not. I don't see Jay turning on Jimmy. If we can get Jimmy out of the equation, I do see that Lady Guapo took the words out of my mouth. Jay will be the one to take Roman down. I do see a Sami Zayn, Jay Uso, they come together in some fantastical way and catch Roman's attention, and they build that up a little bit to where Jay is like, you know what, man, talking to Sami Zayn is like, you know what, we had it going on right now, but we knew that this was going to end soon, so I'm breaking this off. Me and Roman are going to have our time, and it's Jay and Roman. The bloodline will fall. Again, what happens to Sami after that? I can't tell you. Maybe freaking Kevin Owens comes back. Who knows? Maybe Solo starts doing something crazy. I don't know. But that's what I see is if they can get Jimmy out of the equation, that Jay and Sami are gonna make some moves moving towards WrestleMania.
It would be kind of storybook because the bloodline started with Jay. The whole bloodline storyline started between Roman and Jay.
So it'd be a nice closer. Yeah, it'd be a nice closer.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not far off of what you're thinking here.
Really?
I have said all along that I feel like Jay Uso is the main character of the storyline. Everything's been a push with Sami, but I think they're using Sami and the push and getting Jay to trust him, and all of this is to push Jay. So this is kind of what I'm seeing. The match ends. Of course, Roman wins. Bloodline comes in to do their usual tribal beatdown on Sami Zayn. Jay shows up to stop it. And we get kind of the same thing that we would see if it were the Royal Rumble. They gave Sami the chair, said do the thing. Now this goes one of two ways at this point. Either A, right then and there is where Jay turns on Roman, which doesn't make any sense because they've got to start getting everything ready for Mania with Roman and Cody.
Everything.
So Jay does turn and swing the chair, but he hits Jimmy with it. And this turns into Jay and Sami against Jimmy and Solo. And that whole thing's going to play out, and then I think it's going to continue to play out until Kevin Owens comes back. And that's good. Kevin's going to play into it some way in that, but that's kind of where I see that storyline going.
So you see Roman Reigns pretty much branching off and giving the spotlight.
Branching off at Elimination Chamber to make it more about Cody, because one of the big concerns is Sami has got so much pop with the crowd. Is he going to overshadow Cody? Because Cody's supposed to be the big face at WrestleMania. I mean, he's the main event. So is Sami getting enough pop to overshadow that? So I think you have to separate Roman and Sami.
And doing it like you're saying it would be, that's the biggest part that I think we can all agree on with this is this Elimination Chamber match. This Roman Reigns W is gonna put a small pause in the story. Give it a breath. Now I wouldn't say a pause, but it would give it time to breathe for a second. because that's what Sammy's been built up to with what's happened at the Rumble, and I mean honestly since before the Rumble a little bit. He's been building up to that. I'm going against Roman Reigns situation.
All right.
So it's kind of an end of that arc for a second. So it gives it time to breathe.
So what do you got?
So, well, I have a question for you. Little pinhole in your thing here.
Okay.
What happens with what? Jay's one half of the champions. He turns on Jimmy. What happens?
That's part of the story.
What are they?
That's going to be part of the storyline where I feel like, are Jimmy and Sammy the tag team champions? Are Jay and Sammy the tag team champions? Are Jimmy and Solo the tag team champions? So they have to fight to find out who the true tag team champions are. And
Let's throw a hypothetical out there with what we've been discussing. Now imagine the Usos break up. The tag belts are kind of in limbo mode. Their, spiritual successors, the rivals, the Street Profits, they also split up. Now the tag team, the tag side of WWE is just in shambles. Everyone's going crazy. Like, what is going to happen? Now, either they build up this new tag team, or they get this Uso on Uso action for the tag belt. Now, that could be crazy.
that needs to be a hashtag,
like-
Uso on Uso action.
It sounds like Lady Guapo's all for some Uso on Uso action down here.
Yeah, no, she don't want to break up the twins.
I don't think she wants any part of what you're cooking there.
Okay, so where do you go with this?
All right, so I see, Roman said for the twins not to go to Elimination Chamber,
Yeah.
but obviously I can't, I'm not a fortune teller. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but something's going to happen that they're going to show up. Same thing with Sammy at SmackDown that one day. Don't show up. I don't want to see your face. Same thing's going to happen with them. They're going to show up. They're going to do something. Roman's going to be, Sammy's going to have this huge surge. He's about to win. Bloodline comes out. They stomp that out. They save Roman. Roman wins, and they're, Jay's gonna turn on Sammy. I see Jay having something to do with Sammy losing.
Wow.
And no one's seen Kevin Owens since the Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens comes out and saves Sammy, and this leads to similar what you said. It breaks Roman off, and it still gives Sammy this huge bloodline redemption story of Sammy and KO versus the Usos.
And yeah,
for the tag champion.
it brings KO right back into it.
Yeah, because my thing is KO is such an integral part of this story.
Exactly, yeah. I
just-
completely agree. Is that
leave him out?
he just gets locked out after Royal Rumble? Yeah, no, it's definitely a warranted change for sure. That's definitely something we can all agree on. Is that Kevin Owens will be an integral part moving, even the week after maybe of Elimination Chamber. Like Kevin Owens is coming back and playing a big role in it.
Yeah, I think so.
Lady Guapo hits it right on the head there in the chat. KO and Sammy in the NXT days, I mean, they were what was Sammy El Generico?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
classic, absolutely classic. The two of them.
They were great to watch.
I could see
And
that going.
their chemistry. I mean, whether they're facing each other or whether they're on the same team.
They work so well together.
They've been best friends for 20 years.
I keep coming back to this, but I mean, after you saying that, I really think this Street Profits breakup might actually, I think it's very plausible. And throwing in Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to be the new rivals, it just plays out perfectly.
Yeah, and with the Street Profits, it doesn't have to be a messy breakup.
Exactly, no, it doesn't got to be a bunch of we were just talking about with the Usos.
Yeah, it don't have to be nothing messy.
It's just like a hey man, we're branching off.
Well, one
mutual situation.
One thing for sure, Elimination Chamber is going to be insane, and I can't wait for it.
And it's not only on an entertainment standpoint, but on a storyline standpoint. It's just big things are happening.
All right, so we're coming up on that time where we're going to have to close it down here. So I'm going to throw a curveball at these two because they don't know what I'm fixing to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. Next week, next Sunday, we are going to start a conversation about some of the more underrated wrestlers that have been out there. And so what I'm giving everybody listening right now some homework. Go to our socials, go to the Instagram, go to the Twitter, go anywhere you can get on our socials, and let us know what are your picks for underrated wrestlers. And we're going to give our picks. We're going to take picks from you guys, and we're going to just discuss it. Find out who these underrated wrestlers are and where we think they should be used.
Heck yeah.
Well, also, I wrote down all of our guesses. We'll also go over Elimination
See how those
Chamber.
work. Oh, man, that's going to be fun.
Absolutely, we will.
Heck yeah.
All right, so final thoughts from you guys?
I appreciate the wrestling talk from the chat. I mean, that's nice to hear. Just something I got to throw out, talking about Edge and talking about Lady Guapo, throwing out her thoughts on everything.
So action.
Yeah, really started that, huh? But
you did that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. That was me. But I think that, like I said, the Elimination Chamber is just going to be crazy. It's going to be a really big pay-per-view. So I'm ready and excited for what's going to happen Saturday.
It's going to be good.
And I'm ready to talk about some underrated wrestlers. Yeah.
So you can find all our socials in the Twitch. I mean,
just scroll down right there. It's there are a bunch of links on everything. You guys go give us a follow. Anyone that's new here, give us a follow. The closer we get to higher follow milestones, the more we're in the algorithm. So the more you get to see our faces. So I appreciate y'all coming out.
As a final thought, I want to thank the chat. Lady Guapo, thanks for keeping us going in the chat. Gambit is Falling. Welcome, man. We're glad to have you here. Mechis, saw you in there. What's up?
Mechis, yes, sir.
We appreciate all the interaction with you guys. Again, a big thank you to Ross and the guys from Labor 12 for our music. That's some more homework for everybody listening right now. Go to anywhere you get your streaming platforms, and after you get the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling podcast, then check out the Monsters album. Our intro music is called Head Rush.
Head Rush.
Great song. Every song on there is good. So check them out. Thank you again for being a part of this. We do it every Sunday, 9 p.m. Central, right here on Twitch, and we look forward to seeing you next time because, as we've shown, we are not your average Mark. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you guys.
I'm gonna drink it.